Hello guys, Oroth here and a warm welcome back to my channel. In today's video we're gonna take a look at the new 5-star gem called Coil. When I saw the description of this gem the first time, I thought that this will be super strong, and I had to make some testing first before making any conclusions, but I'm even more sure now that this is one of the strongest 5-star gems in the game. And we have seen that lately that a lot of the new 5-star gems has been very powerful also for PvE content, and that's a shift that I'm not liking that much. But what's good about it is that these gems are also very strong at lower ranks. So if we take Blood Flow for example, it's very good already at rank 4, and the same goes for this new gem Coil. And before talking about the gem and the different interesting mechanics, let us read the description here and see what it does. When you equip Coil, you have a 10% chance whenever you deal damage to haunt the enemy for 6 seconds. Haunting an enemy while in offensive stance will cause them to take increased damage from you, and haunting them while in defensive stance causes them to deal reduced damage to you. Additionally, haunted enemies will unleash blasts every 2 seconds, dealing X% of your base damage to surrounding enemies. And enemies hit by multiple blasts within 2 seconds take 50% reduced damage from any subsequent hits. And you cannot haunt the same enemy more often than once every 20 seconds. So from reading the description here, we can already see that we have some cool new mechanics. This gem will be linked with your stance. So if you have 2 main hands and 2 off hands equipped, you can switch between your offensive stance and your defensive stance. And while you are in the offensive stance, you will gain the damage effect from this gem. And if you are in the defensive stance, you will gain the damage reduction effect of this gem. So this is very cool, and it's very nice that we have a gem that we can both use if we want to deal more damage or if we need more survivability. So this gem will be very useful in PvP no matter which stance you are in, and I would say for PvE maybe when you are in offensive stance will be the most impactful, but that's most often what we want. But of course, if you need some more survivability, it's also very good that you have the possibility to switch to the defensive stance, and that will increase your survivability a lot. So if you have trouble surviving in challenge dungeons, or when you do Hellslayer bounties for example, this can help you to survive even more. What's also good is that this AoE effect, whenever you trigger it and it hits another enemy, it can also spread this haunt effect. So that's also a very good thing. And what's important to mention here as well is that the cooldown of this gem is per target. So it doesn't mean like it normally does that it activates once every 20 seconds. This will actually activate all the time whenever you hit a new enemy. So it's a lot like Spectre Glass for example. What's also important to mention here is that the damage effect is not an armor break. It goes into the legendary gem category. If you're interested to know how damage is calculated, I recommend you to watch my Ultimate DPS Guide 2.0. I'm often talking about that video, but it shows how the formula is built in order for you to calculate your damage output. And there are different categories, and it's very important to know about these categories if you want to theorycraft and build your character correctly. And the same goes for Spectre Glass as well. Spectre Glass says that it will apply an armor break onto the target, but this armor break actually counts as a legendary gem damage modifier. So this goes for all legendary gems actually. If we move on and discuss a little bit more about this gem, I have to say that it's so powerful, because the duration of the debuff that you place on the target, the base duration is 6 seconds, but you can also prolong this with potency, or if you use the Baron set, or if you use Misery Elixir. And in almost all types of content, all the enemies will die within the duration of this debuff. So it basically means that the damage effect that you will get will be up almost 100% of the time when you are fighting an enemy, especially in PvE content. But also in PvP, when you are fighting an enemy, you are not fighting them for 20 seconds straight. there are often a few seconds where fighting is going on and then people fall back, and then when they engage each other later, the cooldown will be ready. So I will say that this gem is very, very good both for PvE and PvP. And the damage effect that you get is very, very high compared to a lot of other gems. So this is, definitely one of the strongest gems in the game. And what's also good about this gem is that it's very strong at lower ranks as well. So I know that there has been an issue with a lot of strong 5-star gems lately, but what's good about it at least is that they are also very good at lower ranks. So if you have this at rank 4, it will be competitive against a lot of rank 8 to 10 2-star gems, and you can replace them because it's a little bit cheaper to get a rank 4 5-star gem compared to a rank 10 2-star gem, for example. It's a little bit easier. So I think that at least this is something positive about the new 5-star gems. Let us of course also take a quick look here at the resonance effects, and this is maybe the only downside if you ask me. I prefer to have offensive resonance effects, and here we can see that they are all defensive. Of course this is useful in PvP and it can be somewhat useful in PvE as well, but I prefer to have damage modifiers here as resonance effects. But yeah, to activate these we need to put in a Viper's Bite, we need to put in Igneous Scorn, we need to put in a Seeping Bile, we also have Spectre Glass here, and in the final slot here that I get at rank 8 I have to put in a Spiteful Blood. So I just wanted to show this. This might be the only downside of this gem, but even though this downside exists, I still think the gem is superb. I did need to do some testing before I could make any conclusions, because there are some legendary gems with this type of cooldown that is per target. When several people are using the same gem, they won't stack with each other. So if you take Viper's Bite, for example, if you apply Viper's Bite to an enemy, someone else can't inflict Viper's Bite to the same enemy for 20 seconds. And if that would be the case for this gem, it would not be that good, because if we had 5 people running around with this gem, for example, only the first one who applied it would apply it, and the other ones would have to wait 20 seconds before a chance to apply it again. So let's see now if this gem stacks or not. And then we're also going to try to figure out whether this damage effect from the gem, I'm not talking about the damage multiplier, I'm talking about these blades, do they count as a continual damage effect since they trigger once every 2 seconds? So let's do some testing here and have a look. So to test this, I brought a friend to the training dummy, and we're gonna attack it at the same time, both with the offensive stance and the defensive stance, to see if we can activate 2 of these debuffs. And here we can see that yes, there are 2 active debuffs on the target, so this means that this effect will stack while we're using the offensive stance. Just to be sure, let us also test this in the defensive stance to see if they stack as well. And here we can see that they will stack once again. So this is very, very good. If this would not have been the case, the gem would have been a lot weaker. Let us also test if this counts as continual damage. And what I have done is that I have equipped a slow time helmet that increases the amount of ticks while we're dealing continual damage. So if that's the case, we will get a tick of damage more often than once every 2 seconds. So let's have a look. At 9 seconds, at 11 seconds, at 13 seconds, at 15 seconds. And yeah, as we can see here, even though we use this slow time helmet, we get 1 tick of damage every 2 seconds. So this does not count as continual damage. And what's good about that while I'm making that test is because there are some effects that will increase the damage of your continual damage. And there are also some other synergies linked to continual damage effects. And now we know that this effect does not count as one of them. To summarize, what can I say about this gem? I have to say that this is probably one of the strongest gems in the game. I would rank it a little bit lower than Royal Inconsequence, but other than that, I think it's probably at the silver position. And there might be other gems that are also good, that is equally strong. I'm talking about Colossus Engine. I'm also talking about Blood Flow. It's hard to say which one of them is the best. It depends on a little bit on which build you are playing. What's important to mention here is that most legendary gem effects, they are prolonged by beneficial effect duration. This gem will be prolonged by harmful effect duration. So in some builds it will work even better. In a lot of the builds that I am playing, I'm often using 2 pieces of Baron. I even sometimes, if I play dot resolution build, use Misery Elixir, and if you use that combination, this will be even stronger compared to if you're not using it. But even if you're not using Baron or Misery Elixir, the duration is still long enough for almost all the enemies to die within the duration. So for that reason, I will definitely rate this S tier, both for PvE and for PvP. And it's really good because, as I mentioned, it's not only strong if you get it to a high rank, it's already very good at rank 4, so anyone can get this gem and have a lot of fun and be very impactful. So I hope that this video gave you just an idea whether you should go for this gem or not. If it wasn't clear by now, the recommendation is yes, you should definitely go for this gem. And until next time, I just want to wish you a very nice day or a very nice evening wherever you are. And to all of my clan members in Nyx, I would of course also like to say Voruk Nyx, Sholak Sol. So, bye bye!
If a boy or if a girl,
subscribe to Aura's channel.
let him take you to his world.
Subscribe to Aura's channel.
The best choice you will ever make.
Subscribe to Aura's channel.
Hit the bell, a piece of cake.
Subscribe to Aura's channel.
Let me tell you one more time.
Subscribe to Aura's channel.
All the answers you will find.
Subscribe to Aura's channel.